Imagine you're walking down a busy street and suddenly you think of an old friend you haven't seen for years. A few minutes later, you receive a message from him. Coincidence? Or perhaps something deeper is at play. Now think about a bad day. You wake up late, spill coffee on your clothes, and before you leave, realize you've forgotten an important appointment. Throughout the day, everything seems to go wrong. Is this pure chance? Or has your mind, without realizing it, entered a cycle that has attracted more negative experiences? If this idea seems strange, science has already provided clues about this relationship between mind and reality. Studies at Princeton University have shown that consciousness can, in fact, influence physical events on a small scale. Similarly, quantum physics teaches us that observation can alter the behavior of particles. But what if this principle didn't just apply to the microscopic world, but also to your everyday life? If you could learn to speak the language of the universe, you would have the key to transforming any aspect of your reality. The question is, how do you access this hidden code? The answer lies in an ancient secret, repeated in different ways throughout history. Spiritual masters, philosophers, and even modern scientists all point in the same direction. External reality is a reflection of internal consciousness. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you feel, believe, and expect. And that's why many people struggle to manifest changes in their lives. They say they want success, but deep down, they believe they don't deserve it. They dream of true love, but carry an unconscious fear of rejection. The universe simply reflects these vibrations back to them. But here's the key point. You can reprogram this communication with the universe. Just as a radio needs to be on the right frequency to pick up a specific station, your mind needs to be aligned with what you want to experience. This isn't baseless mysticism. It's neuroscience applied to the reality of manifestation. What do you see when you look in the mirror every morning? Just a reflection of your face or something deeper? Now imagine that this mirror doesn't just reflect your appearance, but everything you think, feel, and believe. Imagine that your entire reality works in the same way, a faithful reflection of your consciousness. If this idea seems too mystical, know that science has already found evidence that the way we perceive the world is not just a passive response to reality, but an active creation of our mind. In 1801, physicist Thomas Young carried out an experiment that would change our understanding of reality, the famous double-slit experiment. He discovered that particles of light, photons, behaved differently when they were observed. When no one was looking, they passed through the two slits at the same time, like waves. But when an observer was monitoring the experiment, the photons chose a single path, as if they knew they were being observed. This discovery opened up a question that still intrigues scientists today. Can consciousness influence reality? Decades later, psychology began to explore how our internal perceptions shape our external experiences. The concept of cognitive bias, studied since the 1970s, shows that our minds seek to confirm what we believe. If you think the world is a hostile place, your brain will highlight situations that prove this idea, ignoring signals to the contrary. If you believe that opportunities arise for those who are prepared, you'll start to see chances that previously went unnoticed. This phenomenon is not just theoretical. In 2007, a Princeton University study analyzed how human intention can affect seemingly random events. Participants tried to influence random number-generating machines with the power of the mind alone, and the results showed small but statistically significant changes in the expected pattern. This means that your mind is like a lens that filters the reality around you. If that lens is dirty with limiting beliefs, fear, and pessimism, everything will seem difficult and out of your control. But if you learn to clean that lens, you'll see a world full of possibilities, solutions, and previously invisible paths. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to have a kind of magnet for success, while others live trapped in a cycle of difficulties? This doesn't happen by chance. The truth is that each of us is constantly sending signals to the universe, and these signals determine what we attract into our lives. This is the fundamental principle of the law of attraction, a concept that, despite being popularized recently, has deep roots in human history. Since ancient times, civilizations such as the Egyptians and the Greeks have believed that the mind possessed an invisible force capable of shaping destiny. But how does this work in practice? Everything in the universe is made up of energy, from the smallest atom to the most distant stars. This includes our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Research into neuroscience and quantum physics shows that our brains emit electromagnetic frequencies that can influence the environment around us. In 1991, a study published by the Heart Math Institute revealed that the human heart generates a measurable electromagnetic field that can affect other people. This field expands and strengthens when we feel emotions such as love, gratitude, and joy. Conversely, emotions such as fear, anger, and anxiety weaken this field, creating a low-frequency vibrational pattern. This means that when you are in a state of worry and scarcity, you tune your mind to that frequency and unconsciously attract more experiences that reinforce that reality. On the other hand, when you learn to adjust your thoughts and emotions to higher standards, you begin to manifest more positive experiences in line with your desires. Manifestation doesn't happen just because someone really wants something. There is a process that needs to be followed in order to transform abstract intentions into concrete reality. The first step is to define exactly what you want. Many people say they want to be rich or find love, but they don't have a specific vision of what this means for them. The clearer and more detailed your desire, the easier it will be for your mind and the universe to work together to make it come true. Several studies have proven that visualizing a goal activates the same brain areas involved in the actual experience. This is why Olympic athletes use mental visualization to improve their performance. The brain can't distinguish a strong mental image from reality, and this can be used to your advantage to program it to attract what you want. The law of attraction is not just about thinking positive and hoping. You need to act. Small, consistent actions towards your goal create a ripple effect. The more aligned you are with your intention, the more doors will open. You only attract what you believe is possible. If deep down you think you don't deserve something, the universe will reflect that belief. Working on your self-esteem and mental reprogramming is essential to align your vibration with what you want to manifest. Phrases like, "I am worthy of success," or "abundance flows to me easily," reinforce positive beliefs. Daily repetition makes these ideas become part of your thought system. Instead of focusing on what's missing, train your mind to recognize the good things that already exist in your life. The feeling of gratitude creates a powerful vibrational state that attracts even more positive experiences. Whenever negative thoughts arise, redirect your attention. Use techniques such as meditation or conscious breathing to keep yourself in balance and prevent negativity from taking over. If your mind were a garden, what kind of seeds would you be planting every day? Positive thoughts of growth and possibilities, or limiting beliefs that stifle your opportunities before they are even born? The way we interpret the world around us is not fixed. On the contrary, our brain is constantly adapting and shaping its structure based on our experiences and thoughts. This phenomenon is known as neuroplasticity, a revolutionary concept in neuroscience that proves we can modify patterns of thought and behavior throughout our lives. But how exactly does it work? For decades, it was believed that the brain was a rigid structure, unchanging after childhood. However, studies conducted since the 1960s have shown that the brain can create new neural connections throughout life. Each repeated thought strengthens neural circuits in the same way that a muscle is strengthened through exercise. If you constantly think, "I can never do it," that track becomes stronger and stronger. But if you start feeding yourself thoughts like, "There's always a solution," a new neural pathway begins to form. Much of our reality is defined by beliefs we adopt throughout our lives, many of them inherited from childhood, society, or past experiences. Some of these beliefs drive us forward, while others act as invisible barriers. If this content is making sense to you, please like it. This will help this knowledge reach more people. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not do it now? That way, you won't miss any of the channel's content. Examples of limiting beliefs. Money is hard to earn. Relationships always end in suffering. I'm not good enough to succeed. To reprogram your mind, it's essential to identify these beliefs and replace them with new ones aligned with your goals. Observe which negative thoughts appear frequently in your mind. Write them down to make them conscious. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? Is there concrete proof or just isolated experiences? There are several proven techniques for changing mental patterns and building a positive mindset. The daily repetition of affirmative phrases can change subconscious patterns. The ideal is to formulate them in the present tense and in a positive way, such as, "I am deserving of success and abundance." "My life is always expanding for the better." Olympic athletes use visualization to improve their performance, and this can also be applied to reprogramming the mind. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living the reality you want in as much detail as possible. The more vivid this mental image is, the more effective the process will be. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to change mental patterns. Instead of focusing on what's missing, focus on the positive things that already exist. Studies show that people who practice gratitude regularly have greater emotional well-being and reduced levels of stress. Our mind is always talking to us, and often this dialogue is sabotaging. Become aware of your automatic thoughts, and whenever you identify a negative pattern, immediately switch to a more positive thought. Throughout this video, we've explored how consciousness shapes reality, the influence of the law of attraction, the principles of manifestation, and how mental reprogramming can transform your life. But now comes the most important question. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Many people absorb valuable information, but never put it into practice. The difference between those who transform their lives and those who remain in the same place lies in action. Knowing that your mind is capable of attracting opportunities is not enough. You need to act consistently and intentionally. Every day, your mind is recording patterns, strengthening beliefs, and creating the basis of your future reality. Every repeated thought, every decision, and every attitude contributes to what you are building. The good news is that you have the power to choose which seeds you want to plant. If you continue to reinforce doubts and fears, you will reap insecurity and limitations. But if you decide to nurture thoughts of growth and possibilities, you will create a cycle of evolution and progress. You don't have to change everything overnight. Small daily changes create big transformations over time. Choose an area of your life to transform and set yourself a specific goal. Do you want to improve your finances, better health, more positive relationships? Clarity is the first step towards progress. Use techniques such as visualization, positive affirmations, and gratitude on a daily basis. The more you reinforce new beliefs, the faster your brain will adjust to them. There's no point in thinking positively and continuing with the same habits. If you want success, act like a successful person. If you want health, adopt healthy habits. Action is the link between intention and reality. Now you know that your mind has a direct impact on your reality. You can keep waiting for circumstances to change, or you can take control and create the life you want. Your thoughts, words, and actions build your future. The only question that remains is, which future will you choose to build from now on? It's up to you now. If this content made sense, don't stop here. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content. Now watch this next video where I show you another essential step to change your reality.